to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And welcome. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. And you're listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast, where the Brothers Newland go over toys from our past. This year, we are rewinding all the way back to 1987, where Michael Jackson debuted Bad, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and Good Morning Vietnam were in the theaters. A pound of bacon was $1.80. Really, $1.80.
Wow.
The stock market crashed on Black Monday, and the toy industry suffered from the failures of Visionaries, which we've talked about before, and our toy line we're talking about today, none other than Tonka's Supernaturals, another holographic line that, I mean, by the end of this, you'll know didn't go anywhere. So, all right, we're going to talk about all that. We've got a lot to do in a short amount of time to get there, just about an hour or so, just like every week. So, John, before we get into it, there's something you do for us every week, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I don't have to do it then? Dang.
Well, I just don't
all
know.
Right. Where to find us?
There you go.
Where to find us? Website, toyrewindpodcast.com. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. It's all Toy Rewind Pod. We have a Facebook group, and we're on YouTube. You can look us up by looking up Toy Rewind Podcast. We stream our toy box showcases to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Podcast Bingo, podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. And then you can watch as we post and everything onto all these podcasts. Michael, you're a little close to them. Camera right there.
Staring at Michael.
Yeah.
I was adjusting my chair. I was trying to get it straight. Okay.
But as I was saying, we post all our podcast videos to YouTube as well. So, and then we do have our collector showcases on Mondays.
Yeah, check out our collector showcases. We are doing those pretty much weekly on the Geek Together Twitch channel, our YouTube channel, and also our Twitch channel, just kind of simulcast stream there. So a couple different places you can find us. And if you are a collector and you want to showcase your collection, shoot us an email over at what is that email address, John?
toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com.
I really knew that. I just like to have John take care of all those. Yeah, so shoot us an email there. Get in touch with us on Twitter or Instagram or something. Let us know, because we have lots of time that we're going to talk about all kinds of different toys and the collectors, and we want to showcase your collections. We want to talk to you and find out what got you into collecting, and what are your favorite things about old toys and new toys and everything. So be sure you get with us. If you want to be a guest on the show, we'll take care of everything on our side. On the complicated parts, you just have to have an internet connection, basically. And I think you can do it on your phone. So pretty easy. Don't let that hold you back. If you want to come be part of our showcase. So be sure to check those out on Monday. We've had a lot of people on, like chatting with us and everything.
It's been a good little.
So week 1 was toy photography with Nate from the SDS guys. Week 2, we had Rex, who came on and talked with us about video games and showed off his collection, how he's gotten vintage games and stuff. Week 3, we had Joey and Nate from the Four Dorksmen to talk about shoes. And by the time somebody's listening to this, week 4 will have dropped. Who are we talking to this week?
His buddy of mine, Caleb. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Caleb, he's from Second Opinion, right?
Yeah, Second Opinion. He's a big gamer, so he does reviews on games and stuff, current games. And he also has a like a video game statuettes that he collects. That's what he wants to show off. So we're doing that, and then
Cool.
we'll go over. He also, I can't remember off the top of my head. He told me the other day this little company he works for. He does reviews and stuff. They send him off to was it Econ or whatever out at over in California for like video games and stuff like that. So, and he'll do reviews on those games and stuff. So he's got a lot of cool information that we'll go over when we sit down and talk with him.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun. And definitely, like I said, by the time somebody can hear this, that will, no, because this drops. Oh, this is thing. This drops tomorrow morning.
Right.
So we are, for the first time, recording the night before this episode drops. So, yeah, be sure to come around Monday and listen as we chat with Caleb about some more video game stuff and collecting that kind of stuff. So I gotta figure out where I'm at. We're usually ahead. So
a little crazy couple of weeks.
Kind of a little different. It's gonna be a fun night. So, all right. Excuse me. There we go. There's all that information. Be sure you get with us. Follow us, especially if you want to know when our toy box showcases drop, because those are just randomly dropped on lives, just whenever we can, whenever we have the time to do one, or we have something to open. So be sure
we've got some cool stuff to show when we get a chance to do our next one. So
we do.
Be sure to drop in on that. So
so we've got a lot of stuff that's kind of building up. So be sure to drop in. All right. So now we have a fun for all question. This question is a great question. It came from Michael. Where did you come up with this, Mike? Did you just think of it?
I thought of it when I was researching for the supernaturals. We'll get into how this thing kind of relates. This question relates to the figures, but yeah, it just kind of popped in my head when I was researching this.
Okay, here's the question: if you were a Universal movie monster, which one would you be? And so this is a specific list of monsters. We talked about it before we got on here. I got the list here. They consist of Dracula, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein's monster, the Bride of Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, and Wolfman. So that's the official list from what I found on Wikipedia as I was following this. So we did have some confusion about the Frankenstein's monster, whether it's Frankenstein or the Frankenstein's monster, which confuses me too, because it's Bride of Frankenstein, and is it supposed to be the Bride of Frankenstein's monster or Frankenstein? It's too confusing. Even if we say Frankenstein, we're talking about Frankenstein's monster. So we're going to go with the monster. That. It's the monster, not the doctor. So, all right, Michael, you get to go first because
I was thinking. I think it'd be pretty cool to be the Invisible Man sometimes. So you just kind of just get away and nobody will see you. So
you just disappear.
Yeah, you just disappear. The only thing, I got to watching a little thing about the original Invisible Man was that he was he like a scientist, and he came up with this thing and it made him invisible, but it also made his mind go crazy. So it made him become like a madman, kind of, sort of. So without that part of it, that side effect, then yeah, it'd be. I think it'd be cool to be Invisible Man. So
if you're that invisible and nobody knows you're there, nobody at the only time you forget to put your coat on, because that's the only way people are going to see you, and then nobody ever even says anything to you because they don't know you're there. So
yeah, you have to live. You have to live in a warm climate too. So
yeah,
if you get cold, you got to put a jacket on, and they'll know. They'll see this jacket floating around. So that'd be the only problem.
What would you do? What would you use it for specifically? Like, there's got to be something that you have in mind that you would use this talent for.
Just to get away from people, I guess. I don't know.
Or just to be standing there and they not know you're there.
Yeah, you can kind of eavesdrop on people if you need. And
your line of business, you don't get away from the people.
I don't know. It'd be nice to kind of get stuff done without being interrupted every 5 minutes.
So it's like me saying I'm not going to be around people when that doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, my line of business is the people.
Mine is too. It's all customer service. So yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with you guys. If I don't want to be around people, I just lock the door.
Yeah.
So if you're at a Brookshire's, grocery store and you happen to see the butter just float onto the shelf, Michael is there.
That's the invisible man stalking the shelves.
And I would be very careful about how close you get. All right, John, your turn.
This is I don't know. I mean, I would have to probably go with the Wolfman.
Because you're hairy?
I'm not as hairy as you, so
that's what I was wondering. I was like, you're not even as hairy as I am, so
no, I trimmed it down. No, I just to be part wolf or hopefully be able to.
You do have a fascination with wolves, and you always have.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So would you just turn into a wolf and run around?
Yeah.
It's like
just take off running.
It's like with Zelda. It's our when Link turns into a wolf and he just runs around. I've never played that game, so I don't know what he does. But so you want to be Link, basically? Okay.
There you go. There's the connection.
There's the connection. I'd have to pick two, but they're very close. So I would go with Dracula. Except for the fact that he's got 3 wives. I'd say I just can't do that. That's too many women. But I feel like Dracula and the Phantom of the Opera, they're very close. They've got their little capes and whatnot. Different.
That's it.
Also
just likes the cape aspect.
One sucks blood. One
different.
Yeah,
different. But yeah. So I dressed up as the Phantom of the Opera when I was a freshman in high school for Halloween. It was a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite movies. Love that movie. It's great. But it would be between those two. I'd have to pick one. So being able to fly as Dracula, turn into a bat, annoy people as a bat. I love Batman. I mean, it fits, right?
There you go.
There's a connection. So, yeah. All right, there it is. If you want to let us know which one of those Universal movie monsters would you want to be, Dracula, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein's monster, the Bride of Frankenstein's monster, Phantom of the Opera, or the Wolfman, let us know. Send us a tweet, send us a Instagram, and email. I don't care. If you respond to us, we will respond back to you. We are not the 4 Dorksmen. So be sure you do that. Get with us. All right, now to the fun stuff. We are talking about Tonka's Supernaturals this week. It's in a holographic line that if you were listening when I did the intro, you know that it failed after 1987. So, Michael, give us some history on this thing.
Yeah, the Supernaturals, like I said, was a holographic toy line. It was released in 1987 by Tonka. It's similar to the Visionaries, who we talked about earlier in our episode 24, and then released also in the same year in 1987 as well. This line had the same feature, had the same fate as Visionaries. It was one and done, one release and one thing, and that was it. So his holograms seemed like it would be a hit back then in the 80s in the toy market, but the cost of the holograms were part of their failure because it just cost so much back then. And the Supernatural line, I think the holograms, they're a lot bigger than what the Visionaries had. They had smaller holograms and stuff, and it wasn't as in depth as this line it was. Also, not having a cartoon or comic book series to help push the line possibly held them back as well. But the Visionaries had both, and they still failed. So they had comic books, and then they had the cartoon too, and it didn't work either. So Supernaturals were a range of action figures that featured hollowed out chest and faces. Instead of your standard plastic chest and face on a figure, a hologram sticker was affixed to the flat surface in that spot. These holograms featured something creepy and supernatural. We'll get into that here in a minute. But it was just where the face and your chest was, it was just flat. And they just stuck this hologram on there. So for the face and the body part of the figure. So since there was no TV show or anything, their story was told on the back of the packaging, and a small comic that came with each figure. So they just had they had a just a little comic book that came inside, and it just kind of gave you a brief storyline of who they are, not really in depth or anything like that. So, but the story is basically the heroic and evil warriors were sealed in the Tomb of Doom, only to be released hundreds of years later. Now, as ghosts, these foes are destined to do battle once again. That's pretty much what the story was on the back of the cards. The good versus evil theme was used in all the popular boy toy lines of the 80s. You know, you got your Transformers, you got Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, all those lines, you know, they all had good versus evil. So the 6 main characters were standard size. I think I never saw an actual size, but they seem to be 6 to 7 inches tall. And they also all came with a glow-in-the-dark weapon and holographic shield. These figures also had a chest piece and helmet, which hide the hologram beneath. So when it changes, you take that chest piece off and the helmet off, and you see the hologram. One thing about this hologram that they used on this line, it was. Let's see. Trying to remember. Well, it's a double channel hologram. So it had 2 pictures. So when you looked at it one way, you see one picture, and you kind of turn it in a light, and you see another picture. Correct. So that was a little bit different than the Visionaries, which just had one picture on their hologram. But these had that double channel. So that's why this was a little more expensive than the Visionaries. So the heroic, there was 6 of these figures, and then there was also 8 smaller figures called ghostlings. But the main figures, so you had 3 heroic warriors and 3 evil warriors. So the heroic warriors, you had Lionheart, who was the leader. He was when you're looking at his hologram, he's a king, and then when you turn it, it turns into a powerful lion, is what you see in that second picture on that hologram.
That makes sense.
And then on his shield, each of them had a shield, and it had on his, it was a hologram of a lion on his shield. Then you had Eagle Eye. He was an Indian chief, and then when you moved him, you could see a soaring eagle in the hologram. It changed from a Indian chief to a soaring eagle. And then on his shield was an eagle as well. And then you had Thunderbolt. It was a Viking. And then you move it, and you can see a lightning warrior. And then on his shield, it was a hand holding a bolt of lightning in the hand. So you got your three evil warriors next. You got Skull. He was the leader of the group. He was a pirate, and then you move it in the hologram. The second picture was a skeleton, and he had an X-ray eye. So go ahead.
Did you say pirate?
He was a pirate. And, instead of having a patch over the eye, it was just he had a patch. And then when you change it, you saw a skeleton form, and where that patch was, it's got a X-ray eye. And then on his shield was actually his missing eyeball was on the shield. So
yeah.
So the next one, you had Bernhardt. He was an evil knight, and then his second picture in the hologram was a fiery spirit. And then on his shield, he had fire on his shield, so it was just a big fireball. And then the last figure in the Evil Warriors was Snakebite. He was a snake charmer, and then his second picture in the hologram was a deadly cobra, and then he had a snake on his shield as well. So
that's one that I had. I actually had one of those.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, but
I don't know why, but I have it.
These holograms, like I remember looking at the ones with the Visionaries and stuff, and they were cool. But these holograms are so much more detailed.
Yeah.
When you find one and actually see it, it's kind of like, wow, there's a lot of detail into these, especially
it's not
when
just it's not just just one hologram picture. It's you got two. So like I said, it's a double channel. So when you turn it, you move it in the light just right. You see the second picture, but both pictures are so in depth, a lot more than what Visionaries had. So,
and
yeah,
I mean, I saw the one. We're getting down into some of the other deals, but I mean, they've got some really detailed holograms in these that I saw that were just really kick butt, you know?
Yeah, these are really nice. And so I had a snake bite. It's the only one that I remember. There's a chance I had a couple others, but I only remember it because I remember the flat face, like where the hologram was at. I don't remember if my hologram was good or bad or what it was, but I remember that, and I remember his shield. Because it's like a heart.
With the snake
at the top, the snake's heads are I guess it's
the
a head.
and
It's the tail right there that loops over.
Right.
I specifically remember that, and honestly, I don't know where I got it. It could have been a gift. It could have just been a gift, a Christmas gift at some point from who knows.
So something else with these that we've gone through all the figures that Michael just talked about with the holograms and stuff, but they also took another 80s fad with the glow in the dark weapons.
Oh yeah.
So all the weapons are glow in the dark.
That's pretty cool. I like that because they just look cool.
Yeah.
Then you get them in the right light. You turn your lights off, and you forget about it, and all of a sudden there's stuff in your room.
Yeah.
Like that. So Michael, are we at the point to talk about these the little figures?
Yeah. I'm about to get into
Ghostlings.
the ghostlings.
Ghostlings. Okay, that's what they're called.
So
These things are weird.
these are a little creepier than, or some of them are a little creepier than the main figures. But there's 8 of these, so you got 4 good and 4 bad. See, they were also cheaper and more affordable because they were smaller, a little bit smaller, and they really didn't have any legs or anything. It's just a.
I was about to say these better be cheaper. They didn't have legs. It was half the figure.
Yeah, it was like half a figure.
Yeah, it's the little ghost figure, and they're different colors.
Yeah.
And there's a little insert that goes into each one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but all of them are identical. They're just different colors. They have, I'll let you go through all the names, Michael, but their hands are glow in the dark. And of course, their swords are glow in the dark. And the 4 good ones have a round hilt on the sword, whereas the 4 bad ones have the spiky hilt. So I guess I said that right.
Because I look at hilts when somebody's coming at me with a sword. I immediately look at the hilt to see if it's good or bad.
Especially if it's a ghostling.
Yeah.
So like John said, there's they're all different. All 8 of them are different colors, but they're all the same mold. And then the outer shell, the ghostling comes out of the outer shell, and it's the different colors. But they all have different holograms on them too, and they're the double channeled as well. So they were smaller than the main figures, minus the legs, like I said. And they had a body and head hologram. They also came with the sword, but no shield, and all 8 were different colors, like we just said. So the heroic ghostlings, you had Spooks. He was a court jester, and then his second picture in the hologram was a ghost. And then you had the next one was Hooter. He was a wizard, and his second picture was an owl. Then you had See-Through. He was a scientist, an invisible man. And then you had Mr. Lucky. He was a magician, and then a giant rabbit. So as magician, and his hologram, the magician hologram, he's holding his hat, like a magician's hat, and he's pulling a rabbit out. Well, when you see the second picture of the giant rabbit, he's holding the hat, and he's pulling the man out of the hat. So,
cool.
Yeah, it was a little bit, it's just opposite there. It's pretty cool. So that's the 4 heroics. So you had Spooks, Hooter, See-Through, and Mr. Lucky. So, and then the 4 evil ghostlings, you had Scary Cat. He was a wicked witch, and then his second picture was a hissing cat. Then you had Weird Wolf, which was a weird punk, and then his second picture was a teenage wolf. So in this picture, the punk, he's like a punk rock star. He has a guitar. He's like into heavy metal and stuff like that, I guess. And then he switches over, and he's a werewolf, He's a wolf, and he's still holding the guitar when he's in the wolf mode too.
So he's like John.
Yeah, he's kind of like John. So he's the wolf, the teenage wolf man. So, but it wasn't. It's not Michael J. Fox, so it's not him.
It's not Teen Wolf. It's
not
Teen Wolf Man.
Yeah. So, so the third one is Vamp Paul. He's a vampire slash swooping bat. And then there's Rags. He's an Egyptian pharaoh slash mummy. So that's where you get the question that we asked, that I came up with. You know, we talked about the Invisible Man. You got the Wolf Man, the vampire, the mummy. You know, that kind of what triggered that question. So
gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. All part of this.
So,
See, Mr. Lucky, I thought was going to be like a leprechaun.
yeah, you would think so. Yeah.
He's a leprechaun.
Let's see. The holograms on the shields, like I said, were consisted of animals or items relating to the figures, which I said that when we looked at the main figures. Like I said, you had a lion on one, an eagle, then you had a hand with lightning, the eyeball on one shield, and then the fire on one shield, and the snake on the other. So that's for the 6 main figures.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was 1 play set and 4 vehicles. So the vehicles, you had 2 good vehicles and 2 bad vehicles.
Let's talk about the play set first.
Yeah, let's do the play set first, because I got a little issue with the vehicles.
Tomb of Doom.
We're going to talk about the Tomb of Doom
for
first.
2 of them, but
Yeah.
okay. So Tomb of Doom consisted of a large removable coffin that sat underneath a creepy-looking helmet-clad skull. So when it sat in there, and the skull actually came off the playset, and it was a flashlight. But when you set it on there and you shine the light down, it would shine through the little hole on top of the playset, on top of the coffin. So it kind of gave you that creepy-looking feel to it. The coffin also had an escape hatch. So when you put your figure in the coffin, you had a key that you would put in the back of the playset that went into the coffin, and you would turn it, and it would open up the back of the coffin, and the figure would fall out behind there. Then when you open the coffin after you fell out, you had a hologram of the other world, the nether world, whatever you want to call it. You know, it had a bunch of creepy looking pictures on it.
Supernatural world.
Yeah, supernatural world. So it was kind of creepy looking. So
that's the one hologram that I was looking at, that the detail in it with all the little things that are in there and stuff. When you see it, I was like, wow, there's a lot of detail into this to get all this.
Okay, so there's lots of detail in a hologram, but the rest of this playset
is nothing.
Sucks.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. I mean, it's just
it's okay. So the coffin
you have
part
a couple of shelves on there that you can put ghostlings.
The coffin part's kind of cool. You put your people in there or whatever. You've got the hologram on it. It sits on top of this other thing, excuse me, that at first I was like, oh, this is kind of a Castle Grayskull thing. But no, they're just like little shelves. They can't do anything. They're just there. It's just background.
Yeah.
It's not a play set. It's a background for a photo. Nate needs one of these.
Yeah. That would be all it's really worth.
So all you do is you put your figure in the coffin, you turn the key in the back of the coffin, the figure disappears back behind the playset, and then you open the coffin, there's a hologram there.
Is it the hologram?
There's no way to bring your guy back from behind there. You have to actually go back around. And
isn't the hologram got Skull in the hologram?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that was, I guess this one was really meant to be done with. So when you flip it, it's actually got his, like him going down into the supernatural, getting pulled down or whatever, I think it is, from what I saw. But yeah, it's really, like Andrew said, I don't really see it as a play set.
So far we've got a not so great play set, 6 full-size figures that are pretty good. They've got good holograms on them. 8 weird figures that are halfway. They're just half figures. It's kind of weird, but they're
cool though. It'll be cool.
Good
looking
holograms.
around.
You know, I'm okay with that.
Their arms move. That's about it. Yeah,
their
they got a
arms
sword.
move. Yeah, whatever. All right, so now we're going to jump into the vehicles, and specifically in this order, Michael. I want to talk about Lion Wings and the Evil Battle Beast first. Okay.
Lion
Dark
Wings
Dragon?
and Dark Dragon.
Oh, the Dark Dragon. Sorry.
Yeah, Dark Dragon.
Lion
Yeah,
Wings
okay.
and the Dark Dragon.
That's the way I got it in my notes. Those two
Okay,
first.
good.
So
let's talk about Lion Wings.
So Lion Wings, you know, it's pretty simple little thing. You've got a lion figure that has wings on it, and he's ridden by a lion heart. So that's his. He's the leader. So that's his vehicle. So it's just a flying lion.
So this is Battle Cat, but it's
Pretty much.
It's a lion, and it's got a little bit different sculpt, basically. But it's basically Battle Cat.
It's kind of like the lion from Misfit Toys Island that's crossed with Battle Cat. Yeah.
Yes. It's very creepy looking, by the way. The front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Its eyes are like. Okay. So all right. So let's talk about the Dark Dragon.
So you got Dark Dragon. It is pretty much a black and red dragon, and he's got a little helmet type thing on, and he's got black wings as well that's on there, and that is the thing that Skull rides on. So it's pretty much
the purple tongue throws me off. He's
got a purple tongue. Yeah. So
I would have to say both of these figures are pretty cool, even though this one's not as much of a rip off as the other one is, but they're both pretty cool little cars. Or sorry, animals that you can ride.
They're figures. Yeah.
Now
they're not really vehicles. They're not really figures for them.
They ride
the
on
leaders to ride on. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pets that they ride. Now let's talk about the cars.
Yeah, the cars. Something that doesn't really fit in. I don't know how they got these vehicles to fit in with this line, because there is nothing about a 57 Chevy Nomad that screams supernaturals to me. So the Ghost Finder. So Ghost Finder is a heroic warrior's vehicle. Like I said, it looks like a 1957 Chevrolet Nomad is what it looks like. It's got glow-in-the-dark wheels and glow-in-the-dark tailpipes. It has a battering ram that comes out of the front grille. And
it's actually a ram's head.
Yeah, it actually looks like a ram's head. And they've got
some type of hook launcher.
Yeah,
something
missile thing on the back of it. So in the top where you would have, it looks like a sunroof or whatever, your figure would actually just stand in there, your main figure. And then where the engine goes in the front of the car, your little ghostling would stand there. So you can't really sit your figures in there. They have to stand up on top of these things. And like I said, it looks like a 1957 Chevy Nomad. I have no idea why this looks like, why it would even fit into. It's even got, on the fins and stuff, looks just like a 57 Chevy. So it's really odd for this line. So
very ridiculous. So okay, now let's talk about
Bopper.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
It is the Evil Warriors vehicle, and to me, it looks like a souped-up 1940s or 50s truck.
Yeah,
kind of like it's like a 40s to 50s, early 50s model truck. It's got glow-in-the-dark wheels, glow-in-the-dark roll bars that have skulls on top of it. And then it's got on the front bumper, it's got little teeth across the bumper, and it's glow-in-the-dark.
And that's where the hologram on this one is too.
Yeah, they do have holograms across the grill on these vehicles.
And then some type of crane.
Yeah, on this Bat Bopper, the thing that's in the back of it is looks like a crane with like a mace wrecking ball type thing with spikes on it. I guess you swing it around, but it's not very long, so it really couldn't reach anything when you swung it around.
Swing it around and bop. Pop 'em.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
Okay. So
It bops the bats, I guess.
so both of these vehicles that don't fit in this toy line
Uh-uh.
are amazing.
They're cool vehicles,
They
but
are
they don't
both awesome. You
nothing
take that.
to do with this.
You
line.
take that Supernaturals logo off of these. You find some character to ride in it. You drop them both into Wacky Racers. They're amazing.
Yeah, it looks like exactly. It looks like a Wacky Racers vehicle.
Both of them are
yeah.
on the wrong line. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say that this line to me is saved by the two animals, the dragon and the lion, which are pretty awesome, and then these two vehicles. Even though they don't belong, they're cool looking toys.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah.
So that's. Do you have any prices on how much these were? Because I have some prices for what they're going for now, and I want to talk about that.
I didn't see prices on.
Okay.
No, I didn't see any original pricing on this. No.
Okay, so first off, we'll talk about the Ghostling figures. Those were, after all the prices that I looked at, were any from $30 to $40. That's how much they were running for in package. Out of package.
That's what they're going for now.
Yeah, out of package, they were all over the place. So it's kind of crazy. The full size figures, so the 6 full size figures, were averaging $75 in package. Out of package, they were about $30 a piece. So, but in package, they were anywhere from
30 a piece complete, or
pretty much. They looked like they were 30 a piece complete.
I know there are several of them. I look, they don't have that.
Yeah, there are. I was trying to look for just complete ones. There are a few that are outside of it. Now the vehicles out of box were about $100. In box, let's see, this one in box was $150. So in box, the box is not perfect. So whatever. So those are $125 if you average that out between those two. I found 2 Tomb of Dooms. One was $35, and it was missing the coffin and the skull at the top. So basically,
so it's just a backdrop. It's not any toy to it.
Nothing. The other one I didn't open, so I don't know how much it was. But it had everything. It was more, but I don't remember how much it was. All right. So the last two prices I want to talk about. One of them makes me laugh just because it's the listing. It's on eBay. It's Supernatural's Lionheart's right arm.
Okay.
And it's $2.95. With a shipping of $18.
Wow.
So I don't know. That made me laugh. Thought it was funny.
I don't see how that would be that important to be $18 for shipping. But
right. Who needs a write? If you, yeah.
Where's it coming from though?
Great Britain. So that's probably why the shipping.
That's
why
shipping,
the shipping's so high. But still, okay. So here is the other listing. It is a vintage Supernatural set. All 6 of the full size figures, packaged in cards, graded for $3,195.
Wow.
Shipping approximately $166, also coming from Great Britain.
What are they graded as? What's the grading?
Let me look and see if it's got it listed. It's got to have it in here somewhere. 80 to 90.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
So, I mean, hey, all 6 of them. If you're looking for all 6 of them, you can get them for right around $3,000, $3,200 if you look at everything. So, not bad. I'd say these fared a little better than the Visionaries, if you ask me. Because
and I think Visionaries, stuck around a little. I mean, they both 1 year, one
hit wonders,
one release, and that's it. With this set, but on both of them, but. The Visionaries had the cartoon going for them, and they had the comic books. Whereas this one, the holograms were much better. They were bigger. They were, like you said, that double channel where you had two pictures inside one hologram, and it seemed a little bit cooler. I would have liked these better, especially if they would have went on to do a cartoon or a comic book series or something to to beef up the storyline on what this is, because it's pretty much you got your bad guys, you got your good guys. They both get locked up for thousands of years, and then they get out finally, and they're still fighting each other. And that's the story. So they could have fleshed that out a lot better.
The cars.
Yeah. Then they ended up with 1940 and 50s cars.
I'm telling you, those cars save them just because they're cool cars. Like they don't fit in a line, but they're cool cars. They're cool toys. So, okay, we need to rank these. We need to rank these boogers, put them on our list. So, where do you rank these, Michael? Number 2? Number 3?
Number 20.
Number 20.
Yeah.
Why so bad?
I put them right there, right above Visionaries. I'm going to rank them
Visionaries.
Pretty much about the same. Like I said, this is a little bit higher than Visionaries simply because they had that double channel hologram.
Okay. John?
Ooh, man.
Oh, it's your number 1? Oh, okay.
No. I don't even know how far down to take them. I mean, I think they're cool. I don't remember. You apparently had one.
Yeah, I don't remember having any of these. I don't remember even Andrew having that one, but
I don't know why I had it. Still don't know. I wish I still had all those toys.
I'll put them at 22.
22. Okay. Because you don't like them? Because you don't remember them? All of the above?
Yeah.
It's just like shaking
So
his head. Yeah.
It's either right above or right below.
no.
No.
All right. Well, I'm going to save them. And I'm cutting John's in half. These are going number 11 for me.
Wow.
I remember having Snakebite. They're not good enough to be inside of my top 10, but I think these are pretty awesome. I really wish I had the cars, because the cars, I'm telling you, you take that off, you put wacky racers on them, those cars, those are cool toys. And that's how I'm ranking these, as the toy line or as the toy itself. That's how I'm letting those get away. So now that playset sucked. Like, I'll say it. Sorry, Tonka. Your playset was horrible. You should have really figured out what a playset was.
Another thing that I don't like about this line is there's no articulation. You know, you had your arms and your legs that moved on the main figures, but you don't have no head. You don't have, because it's all one flat piece with a hologram sticker on it. So you really couldn't do. It's just his arms and his legs moved around. And then the Ghostlings, they just had arms that move up and down. They didn't have, like I said, there was no feet to them anyway. Yeah. So
that is something
like the elbows, the knees,
kind of like a Orko type figure. You know, looking at Masters of the Universe, you get your Orko, but it's all one big piece. So
Well, there you go. So a 20 for Michael, 22 for John, and an 11 for me. I ranked these above G.I. Joe's, but then that was just a 12-inch G.I. Joe line.
Right.
That I really thought was awesome. Just, I don't really, for me, it's not there. Just wait till we get to the 3 3/4 inch line. All right. So there we go. There's all that. We don't have a Toy Truth game this week. It's been a crazy week, so no Toy Truths, but we are still sitting Michael at 4, John at 2, me at 1, and our guests at 1. And I know we have some guests coming up soon, so maybe me and the guests can get some more points and beat you, Michael. We're going to beat you. We're going to combine all those points and still beat you. So
they're all happy about beating you. They're not worried about me.
Yeah.
No, John, you're going to come in. You're going to add your points to ours, and we're going to beat Michael. That's how it works. All right, John, give us do I have anything else we need to add for I almost said Visionaries, for Supernaturals?
No.
Is it a ghost?
I think.
Is it a man? It's a hologram.
You guys sound more scared than that.
Yeah, we gotta have the tag. They actually had pretty good taglines. I like these taglines. So what was the other one?
They have changed the fight with ghostly might.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, hey, that works for them. So
yeah.
Well, if you get a chance though, if you watch the commercials, the kids on the commercials that are in, like, it's all dark and the kids have got like flashlights or something, and they're really weird. They're kind of creepy.
I need to check those out.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
Hey, it was 1987. Who knows what kind of drugs they were on?
All right.
All right, John.
Hopefully none. They were young kids.
And then I think one of the commercials sounded like it had, like the narrative from Vincent Price is doing a narrative, kind of like the Michael Jackson, the end of his song. And
yeah.
So,
all right,
John, kind of weird.
Run us through our socials again, real quick. So people
find us. Yeah, check our website out, toyrewindpodcast.com. Email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch are all Toy Rewind Pod, all one word. You can look us up on Facebook and YouTube. Just search Toy Rewind Podcast, and you should be able to find us out. Join in conversations and everything there. We stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch with our Toy Box Showcase. Then we have our podcast bingo. Hopefully you've been listening in. You should have been able to get a few because I know I heard the dogs and everything. At podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to Dad for getting Michael's internet up so that we could record.
Yes. Yeah, me and him. Yes. Yeah, we had to go fix that today. Yeah.
And then, of course, check out our collector showcases on Monday on the Geek Together, plus our channels on Twitch. So,
yep, check those out. And if you're looking for somebody to listen to, if you're looking for a podcast that not only, after you listen to ours, don't pause this and listen to anybody else's. Just after, if you're looking for more nerdy stuff to listen to, be sure to check these people out. Obviously, Geek Together, since we're in collusion with them on trying to get a bunch of stuff going. At the Average Nerd Podcast, which I believe we got a good shout out from them recently.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they had a shout out for us in their last their episode about video games. So they kind of mentioned us that we were talking about so the classic video Nintendo games with Rex.
I was listening to it, but I haven't got to the shout out, but I will finish that up.
Be sure you check out
32 minutes in.
There you go. Be sure you check out the Four Dorksmen, 3 beers and a mic. The STS guys. Oh, by the way, I was listening to I may be a little behind on the STS guys, but when they went to the Buc-ee's and they did that whole thing, and they went to that little con that was down in New Braunfels. I thought it was funny because I heard Larry say he felt like he was walking around in a real life Toy Rewind podcast. And I was like, there we go. So be sure you check them out. Let's see, where am I at? Nerdy Curious, Nerd Portraits, Movie Retakes, Totally Rad Movie Podcast, which I heard is not dead yet, and the Secondary Heroes. I just got finished listening to their WandaVision takes, so lots of
I need to listen to the last one.
It's good.
Yeah, so if you're looking for if you're trying to deal with the fact that WandaVision's over, just go back and listen to it, rewatch it. Lots of fun. So
I'm looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier because watching some of the previews of it seems like it'd be kind of funny with those two actors or the characters.
Yeah,
bouncing off each other like that. Yeah, they got a good rapport with each other.
And then always check out Sully over on twitch.tv/CS Sully. And again, as always, Nerds Unite. So be sure to check out those out. Lots of fun within the network. So, all right. Anything else we want to add before we sign out?
One more thing, it is we're in March. You got March Madness coming up. We'll be doing our own version of March Madness. This is episode 31. So next week will be episode 32. So I got figured out where we had 32 toy lines competing against each other, and everybody needs to vote on who they like to when we get our bracket up, and we'll kind of whittle it down to the number one toy line that we've talked about so far.
So it'll be after episode 33 though, because we were taking the
I forgot the McDonald's toy is not on the.
So we are getting there, but we've got one more toy line to do. So it'll be after episode 33. So look forward to that. We're going to have lots of voting and everything going on for that. So
and we'll eventually have a part 2 for the McDonald's for a few more years because we only did the first 6 years.
Yeah, I think it's on the list somewhere. We got to figure that out.
So we'll get back to them.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to add before, John? Oh, Toy Rewind stickers. If you want a sticker, John has 2, and he'll be happy to send those to you. I have a whole bunch. I don't know where they're at. I'll find them someday inside of a box after I unpack it. So there we go. There's Supernaturals for you. hope you enjoyed that. And I got to find my button over here. On behalf of the Brothers Newland here at the Toy Rewind Podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.